are going to talk about interesting insights from the century-old book, Three Men in a Boat. I have my fellow author joining me, Dr. Geetha on the right side and Sritapa on the left side. They are both renowned authors, bestsellers, are their like everyday thing. So recently, Dr. Geetha's book was on a bestseller list, and that was amazing. And Sritapa has recently written an amazing children book, Tales of Aryan, and that's going to become a bestseller soon. So with that, let me start with BWB story. Like I said, what was BWB? But I want to announce the first winner of the BWB Sunday quiz. I have my fellow author joining me, Dr. Geetha. Her name is Munmun Rauka, and that's amazing to know that Munmun, you are wherever you are, we will connect with you. But Munmun, you have won the prize, the Sunday brunch prize, and we will connect you with a special gift, that prize. Now, the other thing I want to also mention today is that if somebody wins a prize in the BWB Sunday quiz 3 times consecutively, they get a chance to get to our Elite Book Club, and they get special goodies as well. So
Amazing.
it's a win-win for every winner. And if you're 3 times winner, then it's amazing. So with that, I would congratulate Munmun again. Thank you for participating, and you are the winner. And now let's start with today's discussion. So in BWB today we are talking about our fiction book, Three Men in a Boat. And I want to give it over to Dr. Geetha to tell us more about that book.
Hi everyone, welcome to BWB. And are you all excited to be, wanting to listen to what else is going on in the life of these three friends, Jerome, Harris, and George? And you all know how their expedition on the river, their boat trip, turned into an adventure, into a misadventure, into a mishap, and went on to become a rollicking, roller coaster ride and a travelogue, that is comedic travelogue, going on trending even today after 130 years. And we also realize that it is not just about the road trip. It is a witty allegory of our own life journey. It is a witty comparison to our life journey, because as we see these three friends, as they start on their expedition on the river, it is also with the rose-colored glasses, thinking that it is going to be so beautiful. They're going to enjoy their journey. They're going to have lots of fun. And we also, we also start on our journey of life, on our projects and our, whatever programs that we have in our mind. We start with the idea, with the rose-colored expectations that it is going to be so successful, it's going to be bestseller. And similarly, when they start to have problems, the three friends, they exaggerate it. They have a lot of laughter. They face so many pitfalls and they learn something from it. Similarly, we need to learn new perspectives, new understandings, new lessons, as we also confront all these curveballs. We confront those setbacks, we confront those challenges, and we start to grow, we start to transform, we start to become a better self of ourselves, right? And the most important thing that we realize is this book, Three Men in a Boat, is all about understanding and enjoying the journey of the life itself and not just the destination. And similarly, even our life journey is also something that we are going to understand about ourselves. First of all, about ourselves and the world around us, so that there is transformation that is possible. Because we are going to enjoy our life journey with all its pitfalls, with all its windfalls, with its laughter and its sorrow, and with its straight road and the curved road, everything we are going to enjoy. And this is exactly what we will be bringing to BWB when we discuss one fiction one week and another non-fiction another week, and bring you new insights and new perspectives, and also goodies at the end of the month in a quiz and in a fun, fun day quizzes. And you're going to win lots of goodies. And how cool is it, right? Yes. So If you all are excited, jump into BWB. And now let me continue with the story. So, Jerome and Harris, they are traveling on their boat and they're going towards the Sunbury Lock, which is where they're going to meet George. And as they are going, Jerome sees how the river is broadening and it is looking so beautiful. And the river bank has all these beautiful scenery, the farmland, the woodland, and the waterworks, and the so beautiful, like the Sunbury Church, which has got these old past relics and the tombs of the famous people, the camp of Caesar, and the graveyard of the dogs, and so many wonderful things. And he enjoys it. Then suddenly they come to a bridge, a very small bridge, and it has, the bridge is, it is connecting two small dams. So when he comes, the boat comes under the bridge. Jerome sees that it is backwaters and it is so calm and serene and peaceful, and he feels that he is going to row the boat. So he starts to row the boat, and yeah, he starts to row. He puts all his soul and his heart and his mind and his legs and his hands and his body and his energy and his whole and soul into it. And he keeps on furiously rowing, 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 putting his head down. And then after 15 minutes, he's sure he has come to the end of the river, and he looks up, and what does he see? He's still under that bridge. He hasn't budged at all. And Harris is rolling. He hasn't on the floor of the boat with tears streaming down his eyes because he's laughing so much. And Jerome realizes he's not going to row in a backwaters because appearances can be deceptive. You cannot gauge the depth of something. You cannot judge people or circumstances or any situation just by looking at it. Something that might look peaceful might not be. Expectations can vary. Now, have you had such a situation experience, Sritapa? Let me know.
Yes, yes. There is a very famous saying, right? Don't judge the book by its cover.
Yes.
So that is what I just immediately could relate to. And I have a life experience to share. So it is as life is unpredictable, so is travel plans, right? So so one day I had decided I'll go to Kashmir and I'll return. I'll visit Vaishno Devi temple. And excitedly, I had booked the helicopter ride, already pre-booked that I will do a helicopter ride from Katra to the temple. To a very hassle-free planning was done, and I was very excited because this is my first time of a helicopter ride. I was thrilled to see the views and everything from top, and that was so thrilling. When I reached there, everything was as expected. We went to the place and we were in the queue of helicopter line, and we got our turn after some delay because it started late. And then when we sat on the helicopter with seatbelts on, we were about to take off. An announcement came that there is a bad weather in the destination and helicopter cannot take off.
Oh my God.
What a
Out
disappointment.
of all, this
My
was
God.
the last thing I wanted. All my excitement crashed, and the plan had to change. So there was a change in plan abruptly without unexpected plan change, and I was like very helpless because we had a very tight schedule and we had to no other extra day to revisit the temple. So that night we decided we will head towards Amritsar, and that day taught me something that whatever happens in life, everything is uncertain. So we have to be, whether you are planning your life or your travel, it is uncertain. So we have to be flexible and accept these changes as new, opportunities. It's just a way we look at it because there was no point of getting frustrated. Rather, be innovative, be flexible, be adaptable, and let it go. Sometimes it is very good that if you want something, it's not happening at that moment, let it go and be innovative and go forward, and maybe it will come to you later on, and whatever it's left. So this is what I
Absolutely.
learned from that day. And life teaches you, so does travel experiences. What do you think,
Definitely.
Geeta ji? What more we have for three men in the boat?
That was so beautiful, at the takeaway. Yes, now they are moving towards the Sunbury lock and they are almost, reaching there, and they see something like the blazer that George used to wear, that oriental blazer with those blazing colors, and they think that is George used to have that, and they go nearer and they see that George is already in it, and they are so excited. They scream out and shriek out and yell out, and George also yells out. And the lock keeper comes running out with the boat, thinking somebody has fallen into the river. And now George also gets in. Now George says that he has had a very tough time at the on the land because he was working hard. But Harry says, no, you are going to have a tough time here. You're going to do some work. We are tired. So now George starts to tow the boat. So towing the boat is where, just like we have bicycle path, they have a tow path where they walk on that tow path, which is running parallel with the river,
Okay.
and they have that rope in the hand. One end is in their hand, the other end is tied to the boat. So they keep pulling it there. And as they are walking there, George has this interesting incident to share with them. So he says that once he was traveling on the river, and they were carrying a heavy load on the boat, and there were three other men who were as hefty as George. So they had to take. We already know that George is hefty.
George is
So,
very
and
yeah.
yes, and when they are taking turns to row, and they were so tired, and they saw an interesting incident. There were a young man and a young girl who were walking on the tow path, and they were holding that that anchor that hook in their hand, and one end of the one hand has rope, and the other one is inside the river. So it is maybe to be connected to the boat. And they look at it and they see whether the boat is there, not there, and they start to wonder. And what does George do? He takes that end which is in the water, he ties to his own boat. And these young men, a man and a girl, they're so
Smart.
engrossed in their conversation. They are so much into their conversation. They are oblivious of their surroundings. They don't even realize, that they are towing some other boat, and they are walking and going. And for till the next town, they are walking. And at the end of that, the walk at the town, they realize they have been towing strange men and a heavy boat. And if that young woman hadn't exclaimed, what she said was, my God, where is my aunt? Where
Oh,
is my boat? And Harris is now curious what happened to their, what she said, aunt, did they get the boat? Did they get the aunt? And John says, I don't know. This was so surprising for me. Anybody can be so woolly headed. They say, the head in the clouds, you don't see what is on the ground. And what a situation, just getting, like losing sight of your aim, losing sight of your goal or your focus. How does it pan out in life? Have you come across such situation? Sritapa, this is so hilarious.
thank you for making us laugh today. I mean, this was so hilarious. I have something similar. I will say, if anybody loses focus, they lose the direction totally, and this is what happens to most of us. We are juggling with so much of work every day, with doing this, that, prioritizing so many things. So when we do and juggle so many tasks in a day, I think here priority comes into picture, because if you do not prioritize your day, that means you are delaying everything. You are you are messing up things. You are delaying the completion of the tasks in the day, and everything can go wrong. You can just lose your direction and focus. So something like this happens if you are working, suppose, and you have a client call to manage, you have a presentation to manage, you have a team to manage, you have something at the back of something else to manage, and your home is already there where you have to take care of something. This happens, and a child may be somewhere, he needs
Yes.
attention. So with all this, something can go wrong if you are not prioritizing your tasks in your day, and this can lead to more delays, and distraction can actually deviate from path. And I will say, if you prioritize one task at a
Mm.
time and complete it, that is what will make your life better. That is what will help you to complete faster,
True.
and reach your goal.
Yes.
So one task at a time, and prioritizing which task when in a day is what I think is can protect us from all this, you know lost in something and then deviating your
True.
direction, and
Yeah.
it will happen like, where is auntie, where is my auntie? It is like, what happened to my dad work at the end of the day.
Yes.
So what do you
Very true.
think, Siddharth? Do you have something like that in happening somewhere in your life?
I can completely relate to it because my life now is like author, coach, so I have to prioritize anyways. But I have a very interesting.
Aunt, did they get the boat? Did they get the aunt? And John says, I don't know. This was so surprising for me. Anybody can be so woolly headed. They say, the head in the clouds, you don't see what is on the ground. And what a situation. Just getting, like.
Lesson to talk about. So there is a Japanese concept called ichigo ichike. Now,
Uh,
ichigo Ichigo means every moment is unique.
Wow.
Ichige means every moment is unrepeatable. So what it means
Okay.
is that if we are in particular moment, like we are talking right now, this moment is so unique. It will not happen like this ever again in life,
So
right?
beautiful.
So
Absolutely.
it's
Beautiful.
once which one time in the life where we are going through this, and this is such a powerful concept. Now it basically links back to living mindfully and considering every moment so mindfully that you can enjoy that and be in it and earn from those results which you had
Mm.
during or through the process which you were going through in that moment. So that was something which was very profound to know. But many years back, while I was working and I was in US, this mindful concept was not there in me because something very interesting happened. There are so many incidents which I can relate to, but I'll typically talk about one where I was in US. I was working in the US night hours because typically India works in their morning, right? That is US night hour. So I had
Yes.
to give some work and all, and I had to. I was a multitasker then, which I'm not now. But that time I was cooking, right? I was making, and what is the simplest cooking I would do? I was making khichdi, which is putting rice and dal and salt and turmeric and mixing everything and some other things, and I put it in pressure cooker, and I know that food will be done. And parallelly, I'm doing my work, and I'm talking to my offshore, and I'm so happy that I'm able to do multitasking. And then we are in particular moment, like we are talking right now. This moment is so unique; it will not happen like this ever again in life,
So
right?
beautiful.
So
Absolutely.
it's suddenly I heard a bang.
Oh my
Wow.
God.
I stopped the guy. So suddenly, my offshore guy was talking to me. No, wait, something happened. I went towards the kitchen, and I couldn't see the pressure cooker anywhere.
Oh God, it had disappeared.
I looked at the top, and it was yellow,
Oh my God, that
and
is
the rice
crazy.
and dal,
Totally
whatever was
crazy.
low. Now in US, there is a concept called fire alarm, and because it was maybe it was smoking, it caused the fire alarm to blow. And the fire alarm is not only your house, it goes directly to the fire alarm station, the fire station basically. And this
Oh my God.
is crazy that, I understood the fire is, I was like, okay, just close the alarm somehow and do things. And then
Mhm.
uh, I had a siren, I had sirens near my house, and I could hear, people rushing and something happening.
Mhm.
And then somebody knocked at the door. Hello, what happened? So then I realized there was a, typically in the movies, English movies, you would have seen that there's a, big fire, that red truck is there and police is there and all those people are there. And it was around me.
Right.
And that when I opened the door, I saw like this policeman, the fire policeman knocking and then saying,
Mhm.
"Oh my, your house is on fire." I was inside. There was no fire, but he was shouting at me, "Come out, come out!" He put a blanket on me, and I was rushing outside. I was just couldn't imagine what was going on. So
Oh
it
my
was
God.
one unmindful moment of maybe not holding the pressure cooker in time, switching off the stove at on time, not putting enough water or doing the right things at the time made this fire thing come up incident. And it
Mhm.
was I don't know, in that day I was like shocked because then I had to pay for the loss and all that. I was very sad what was going on. But then now I consider it as a hilarious moment because the kind of experience I got. I never bought pressure cooker in US.
That was super funny. My God, mindful. So mindfully doing things is so important.
Yeah,
Here
mindfully
we
doing
can
it is very
here
important.
we can see.
And I think Dr. Geetha somehow was thrown out of the Insta. But well, anyways, we are close to the session.
Yes.
So I will just summarize what we learned. So this is two very hilarious, which is truly life learning. And I would summarize what we learned in today's session. There are three profound insights we got. One is that we should not have too much of expectations. We should never judge a book by a cover, which was the first story which we are talking about. Just thinking about that it is this and it will give me this, rather than be on the ground, right? You just understand that reality is that life is uncertain. So be expecting that be outside expectation, things can happen. So that is the first learning. Second learning is that prioritizing really helps. If you have a very busy day, then prioritizing will make your life easier, because you have too many things on your plate and you have only 24 hours to make. So unless you prioritize, you will never be able to achieve your goals. And the last but not the least is being mindful. Every moment, every minute counts. And if you are
Yes.
able to spend that moment with clarity and with mindfulness, then you will be getting something which will give you a life experience like I had.
Yeah.
So
नहीं तो प्रेशर कुकर फटेगा.
don't don't
लाइफ में
ऐसे
कुछ
कुछ
होगा.
फटेगा, आग लगेगी, पता नहीं क्या होगा. So it's an amazing thing to be mindful, and that's a lesson, third lesson which we learned today. So with that, I think we are close to BWB session today. We really enjoyed the story of the three men in a boat and the relatable insights you are getting. If you liked it, definitely share, and I will be sharing the the follow link in the. We have a WhatsApp channel where you can follow us. So I will
Yes, yes.
share
Can
that
join
in
us.
the. Yeah, and you need to follow us, Brunch with Books 5. That's the handle. So you have to follow us, and it is so important that you like, comment, because your comments are helping us to bring those uh, lessons which you are learning and which we can actually talk about and bring out some relatable current life insights from those. So with that, I think we are good to go. But keep liking us, keep inspiring us, like we try to inspire you back. And thank you again for watching us. Thank you, Munmun, for participating. You are a winner. And we will have
Congratulations.
a Sunday Brunch quiz at the end of the month. But we are expecting a lot of winners there.
I welcome you all to join today's non-fiction book where we will be discussing the book What to Say When You Talk to Yourself by Shadham Slater, and we will be having some relatable, amazing insights from my author friends. I will be inviting Sujata ji and Siddharth from our author friends group. So let me invite them. So welcome Sujata ji. So without delaying, I'll kick off today's non-fiction conversation with two of my author friends, Siddharth Sen and Sujata ji. So Sujata ji, welcome, and please let us know what is happening in the book. We have already discussed fiction book, Three Men in the Boat, in the last Thursday, where we had understood, how to what is like don't book judge a book by its cover, prioritization and mindful living. So we are just extending those conversation to the non-fiction book and how that can be related and we can find solutions from those problems. So over to you, and happy to start the discussion.
Thank you. So, if we remember, the last time Geetha ji, she had told us about an incident where they were rowing on the Thames River, but they thought that the water was very still. So, they thought that underneath also the water would be still and they could row easily. But it was not the case. It was a classic case of don't judge a book by its cover. So, let's see a different kind of misjudgment which happens today also in the world of modern dating. Like, just imagine a gentleman. He is handsome, good looking, has a good career, has everything. And now he always seen with partners who are also beautiful, successful, achievers. But beneath this glittering surface, like the still waters of the Thames, beneath it, his own negative self-talk is going on. And he tells himself that I'm not worthy of it. So these thoughts are keeping on going on beneath this shiny exterior. And it's very chaotic, these thoughts. Like he has a fear of rejection. He says that I must date someone impressive. Otherwise, what will people think? They will say that I'm not worthy. Then again he thinks that overgeneralizes that if this relationship doesn't work, it means that no other relationship will also work. Then he also ignores the positive. When she compliments him, he says, oh, she was only being polite, she doesn't really mean it. So you see so many undercurrents of negative self-talk, the level 1 self-talk that Shad Hemstetter talks about. So we should not get trapped in these kind of narratives, because you find these kind of situations very often on in modern day comedies that we see on TV. Like a friend asks, how's your relationship going? Then the person replies, I'm glad she chose me, but I need to keep her interested. You see, he doesn't realize his own self-worth. And
True.
it's not something very rare. It happens. So now what does he need to do? He needs to break the pattern and rewrite his own uh, romantic narrative. Like, to confront the antagonist is nowhere, it's not external, it's within himself. The negative self-talk is within himself. He needs to confront his own, the antagonist which is within himself, his own negative self-talk. So he can do it. There are many ways, but anyway. So yes, Siddharth, I would like you to take over, and let's hear what you have to say on this.
I think, yeah, I mean, what you are saying is so much there in the world we are living in. I have myself seen this. I have examples from my IT life also, but as an author, also, I have lots of examples around people coming to me and saying that I don't know how to read. And it's a I feel like, okay, did you go to school? So so that is the first question maybe I would ask. But then I understand that maybe their self-worth is low again, because they when they say this, that I cannot read, it is not because of their education, but their own mind problems, that they cannot find time to read in their life. And in that situation, like I was in a fair, and somebody came to me and said, I want to read, but I cannot read. So I was just giving I was taken aback by the thought only, that you cannot read means what. So the exact question I asked was, okay, what is stopping you from reading today? So they said that yeah, I have a lot of work now, and I know that my schedule is like this, that I don't get time to read. Hello, okay. So I think the best thing is when you go and grab this book and go and sleep with it once. Just hold it. That's a baby step which you should take, is you should hold it and sleep with this book. Maybe you will get dreams that you should read this book, and that will start. At least will initiate, and you'll get over this thought that I can't read, because reading is the most natural thing which we have, right? As humans, we are intellectuals. We will need something to go ahead and give our mind as a thought, as a food. So reading is so not natural. But then if you have this low self-worth, and you are saying, I can't read, I don't know how to read, those questions coming inside you, which means that you are stopping yourself somewhere. And I think the best idea is that you give this thought to yourself, that okay, let's have it. And then, I mean, like I said, you dream about it, and maybe next day you will feel like, okay, now I should read this books. And that is the process of, coming over this low self-worth thing. I feel that is the thing which may be helpful for people who always get this idea, that, or give this very silly, excuse, that I don't have time to read, or I can't read, and things like that. So,
Yes.
but then there are so many other learnings also from the Shad Hamstetter book, right, Sujata ji? Over to
Yes.
you.
All right. So now the second learning, like when we're relating it with Jerome's book, the second thing that last time Geetha ji had pointed out is that while they are rowing the boat, they are mesmerized by the beauty of the Thames, and they want to stop at every picturesque location, at every picturesque spot. Now, their journey, it becomes a kind of a delightful, full of delightful distractions. Like a child, he's in a candy store and he wants to take every candy that he sees, attractively packaged and all that. So this tendency is to be sidetracked by something that we encounter, which looks good to us, is a common challenge in our own lives. I've seen it so often during my experience in the teaching profession. Like I've seen, and I myself have gone through it, means teachers are overwhelmed sometimes. They are wearing so many hats, so many juggling with so many roles. Sometimes a counselor, uh, to students. Then sometimes they are attending to the parents' queries, complaints. They have to finish their syllabus in time. They have to manage the expectations of the school management. Means they have to give good results also. And they want that the children should do well. That I can tell you, that is what is in the heart of every teacher. But so many roles, they sometimes get overwhelmed and confused. Now, in this case, there is a person like one of the teachers whom I know. Uh, she said once that I was undergoing through all this mental stress. How do I juggle with so many duties? And then she realized she had read Chad's book, and she realized that I need to go to level 3, what Chad talks about. Prioritize. Level 3 means think that you know you will get out of it, out of the situation. You are capable of doing it.
True.
So that once you start thinking that you're capable of doing it, you can do it. So that's what she decides to do it. And she's happy. She says, yes, I can manage all my responsibilities by prioritizing tasks, setting clear boundaries. If there's an email I get suddenly, I will ignore it if I see that what I'm doing right now is more important. I will not, go by every notification, even by checking copies and all that. It's a
True.
task. You have to be very focused.
True.
And sometimes what happens, the main problems sometimes, like she has to look for homework which is missing. The child says, I've submitted the homework. She says, I can't find it anywhere. And this is a very common problem. I think most teachers have faced some time or the other in their lives. And she knows the child is being honest, but somewhere it's missing. She has to find
Right.
it. So many things, something urgent, something comes up which is urgent, something which is not so important. She has to juggle everything, find out the right solution, prioritize it. So this is level 3 talk here can help her. What
This,
Shad
this,
talks about. That
this is very
yes, and that's
important.
what she practices. So yes, Siddharth, you would like to add something
Yeah,
for
I would
this?
love to add because last time also we were talking about this. Uh, I was giving my pressure cooker example.
Yes.
Also, Sritapa was sharing prioritizing thing. Uh, for me, it is like an author now. I'm like, many a times I have more than five, six ideas going in my mind, and it is so difficult to choose because maybe I'm an author who has written like multiple genre now, and
Hmm.
whether it's romance, horror, mystery thriller, children book, all kind of genre I'm writing now, and I am a dreamer. I imagine vividly. So what happens is I get these ideas, and sometimes in the middle of the night, in my dreams, I will get these ideas, and in the morning when I do the journaling, I have a habit of writing from my dreams what I saw, and I
Hmm.
have so
Hmm.
many ideas coming in, and I want to write about them, and that is where I have this issue that I have to prioritize. Some ideas are so compelling that I want to write about them and complete it, but then
Hmm.
in middle of writing those I get other ideas as well. So it happens to me that I am struggling with which to cater and which not to, and this keeps going on, but then that is where I think the prioritization helps. It makes me like you said, right? You have too many things, but then I have to stop these notifications. Okay, this idea, let's just park it, write it and park it.
Right.
So that is helping me. Otherwise, I would have been like not able to publish anything. I think that would have been the state of how this is.
Hmm.
But prioritization definitely helps. It helps us. I think the main part here is that it helps us rewire ourselves to something which is important and
Hmm.
which we should focus at that point. And then it
Hmm.
gives us enough time to ponder on and hold on to that thought and uh, work on it and make it work towards its success and achieve it. So that if we don't prioritize, I think that doesn't work. And this is where this is a very important activity which we all should think and do in our lives every day. What do you say, Shitapa?
Yeah, thank you for giving such a good insight on prioritization. And I can absolutely relate with you. For the past few months, I am just writing poems in my dreams. And that is what is happening to me. So morning when I was actually I just completed one book, Tales of Aryan, and where ideas were coming to me, and it was just not stopping. So I had to fully stop and split the book in four series, I think. And fifth idea came up today. So I don't know when this series will stop, but the ideas are coming. So either I'll write a new book, or I will stop in 2 3 series is what I am still struggling to finalize. But coming to my one of the examples from real life incident is so there was a day when I had a scheduled meeting to take a very important meeting, and that is when I live with my sister, and both of them were working. They were in office, and me and my nephew were there. He's just a 6 year old. So that is the moment when my meeting was about to start in a minute. He said, I'm going for a V. I said, okay, fine. If anything is urgent, let me know. So
He
mostly
is
he
a good
manages.
guy.
Yeah, mostly he manages and he comes out. But that day he started calling, Masi, Masi, please come immediately, immediately come. And
Mm.
I'm expecting a call in just a minute. And the
Oh my God.
person started calling me in one phone, and he is there yelling at me, come immediately, come immediately. So this is where you have to prioritize life, you know. At times it is so unpredictable
Yeah.
that you have to
Yeah.
decide between what is urgent and what is important. So that is where I had to take a immediate call. Yes, this is urgent to attend him first, and the call can be shifted to next 15 minutes. And that is also equally important, but it can be shifted next 15 minutes. So I called him and said, I will call you back in 15 minutes. There is something very urgent at home. And I kept that phone, and then I attended to him, and I saw he has weed, and he has completely drenched himself with the hand shower. And,
Oh God.
and that
Oh
needs to
my
be
God.
addressed. So this is where priority comes, you know. No matter what is important at that moment, take that task, finish it, and then take the next task. Had I tried to manage him and the call together, the outcome would have been very poor. Neither the person who would have attended the call with me will be happy with the conversation, nor will I be satisfied and give my 100%. So at the end, you will not achieve what you want to achieve. So better focus in one thing, complete that, and then focus the other. Like in a day, we do a lot of things. So this is how we can prioritize what is urgent, focus that one thing at a time, and then move to the next task. That helps.
Wow.
Yes.
Amazing. That's
Very
a very good
good.
example.
Yeah. So
You
I
know,
think
I
with
And
this, we had a very
as
good insightful. Yeah, yeah,
you
Siddharth.
guys are donning a lot of roles. Like women, we already know they have, lots of roles which you have to don, and then you have to prioritize amongst those roles. So, like Sujata is talking about the teacher roles. I think how they balance around the roles of the teachers. So that's, I think, the way this prioritization helps us. So amazing, great insights. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing.
Yeah. Thank And I think I should thank both of you for giving such relatable insights with these two levels. And everyone who is listening us will be able to apply. And I'm sure many people are juggling a lot of things in their life. And this is how we have to talk to ourselves with that positive talk that yes, we can make it happen, and prioritize, and let's achieve together. So with this, I conclude, and I'm excited to see you guys again. So see you. Tata. Bye bye.
Please
Shubha
do meet us next week again at 5 p.m.
at 5
Thank you
p.m.
so much.